Hello everyone, welcome to VV Biology. This is Ranjithkumar. In this video, we are going to start a very interesting lesson called Life Processes, which is there in 10th standard CBSE science textbook. So before getting into the lesson Life Processes, we need to discuss about certain things which is related to the lesson. So if you take the planet Earth, we have so many organisms and we can classify all these organisms under two different categories. One is living organisms or biotic and non-living organisms abiotic. So when it comes to living and non-living, there are some differences between living and non-living organisms which determines whether it is living or non-living. Say for example, if you take some characteristic features such as movement, right? A very important criteria for determining living and non-living. If you take living organisms, of course, they show movements and also locomotion. They move from one place to another place. They locomote from one place to another place and they show many body movements. By seeing the movement, we can determine the particular organism is living or non-living. But it is not possible to keep this criteria for all the organisms, right? If you take plants, the plants may not the plants will not locomote. They won't move from one place to another place, and also they won't show much movements in their body. It doesn't mean that they are dead or they are non-living. They are also living. So this is not enough to determine a particular organism is living or not. Then we have another character. Then how can we say whether a particular plant is living or not? So we can say the color. See, if the plant is so greeny with lot of leaves, you can say the particular plant is living. But it is not suitable for all the plants, right? Because all the plants are not having greeny leaf. Certain plants have colorful leaves such as yellow color, reddish or other yellow in color. So it doesn't mean that if it is not green in color, it doesn't mean that they are non-living. So color cannot determine whether a particular organism is living or not. Another very important criteria that we can use is breathing. Of course, living organisms breathe. If you look at your pet animal like cat and dog, even when they are sleeping, they continuously breathe and they show some physical movement. The chest and stomach will raise and come back to the normal position. Hence, we can say that particular animal is living for sure. But it is not suitable for all the animals. If you take plants, the plant will not show any movement while they are respiring or breathing. Understood? It doesn't mean that they are not respiring or breathing, and it doesn't mean that they are not living. So we cannot say breathing also a category. We cannot say a breathing is a well-determining factor or a character for living organisms. Another character is growth. Of course, living organisms grow, right? They grow. Growth means increasing in size and even number. So they grow. If they show growth, then you can say it is living. But growth is not visible in all the organisms, right? The plant will not show much growth sudden, and there are certain microorganisms like bacteria, so viruses, they are not at all visible to our eyes, even though they are growing, but it is not visible. It doesn't mean that they are not living organisms. So my dears, these factors are not a well-defining factors of living organisms. Then what will determine the living organisms? See, there are some processes which will determine whether a particular organism is living or not. Such processes are nothing but life processes, right? So what are life processes? We have a question. What are life processes? How can we define it? So look at the definition. The processes which together perform the regular maintenance of the body of an organism. See, very important processes. See, here we are saying which together, the processes which together perform. See, together perform in the sense they are not talking about single process. There are a multiple number of processes which are functioning together. Together for what? To maintain regular maintenance of the body. Maintenance of the body. What is maintenance here? What kind of maintenance work is going in our body of an organism? Say, for example, as we discussed earlier in the earlier classes, each and every organism is made up of atoms. A group of atoms together forms molecules. A group of molecules together forms cells. A group of cells together forms tissues. A group of tissues together forms organs. A group of organs together forms organ systems. And group of organ system together forms an entire body of an organism. Right? See, hope you studied even in your ninth standard that the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Each and every category of this hierarchy has a unique role. They have their own functions, right? The cells, if you each and every cell having their own function, tissues, they're performing a specific function, each and every organ performing a specific function, and each and every organ systems present in our body performing a specific function. All these functions requires energy. So without energy, none of the cells can function, right? Then where from we are obtaining energy? Or is that produced in our body? No, not at all. So these energy is obtained from the energy sources. What are energy sources here? In common terms, you can say it as food. So we are taking energy from food. Then where from we are taking food? Right? We have a good question here. So we are taking food from our outer environment, which means outside the body. So from the outer environment, we are taking the food into the body. So very important process. After entering into the body, the food will be broken down into simpler substances in order to make the body or make the cells to utilize them. Why they have to utilize? To produce energy, right? So after production of energy, do you think that only energy is produced? No. Along with the energy, there are some byproducts and products are produced. Correct? And all those byproducts are not good. There are some toxic substances that has to be eliminated from the body. So ultimately this process is also very important, right? So these are all nothing but called maintenance. And even sometimes we may get injured, we may fall down, right? In such case, we may get some injury in our body. So after that, the whatever the injured cells, see, wherever we get injury, where the dead cells or damaged tissues are replaced by the new cells, see, another type of maintenance. So many maintenance work is happening in our body. Then you may have a question, why we have to maintain? Why we have to maintain? Because this process ensures the survival. The maintenance of the body of an organism ensures the survival of the organism. So, if there is no maintenance of the body, none of the organism can survive. They will literally die. So, if the organism want to survive, it should be maintained. And whatever we said, all those things should happen, and that is done by these processes. So nutrition, a very important process. I told you, right, the food from the outer environment should be taken into the body. This process is nothing but nutrition. Okay, sir. Food is taken into the body, right? From the food, it should be broken down and energy need to be produced, right? And this process, this work is done by or facilitated by respiration. Okay, energy is produced, right? See, for the breakdown of glucose or food requires oxygen. Oxygen is available in the lungs. We have taken in during breathing. It has to be transported to each and every cell. Nutrients from the intestine has to be transported to each and every cell of the body. And whatever the nitrogenous waste substances produced, metabolic waste produced in the cells has to be eliminated from the body. So ultimately, a transportation system is required, right, to transport the substances wherever it is produced or available to wherever they are needed. And finally, the nitrogenous waste substances or metabolic waste substances need to be eliminated from the body, right? And that is done by excretion. So these four processes are nothing but life process, right? In simple terms, without nutrition, without eating food, none of the organism can survive. Without respiration, breathing and breaking down of food, none of the organism can survive. Without transportation of molecules inside the body from one place to another place, can we survive? None of the organism can survive. Without eliminating the toxic substances from the body, can we survive? Can any organism survive? None of the organisms survive. So that's why without doing these four processes, none of the organisms can survive. Hence, they are called life processes. So, in this lesson, we are going to discuss about each and every life processes in a sorry. So, in this lesson, we are going to discuss each and every life process in a detailed manner in the upcoming videos. So, if you like this video, please like the video and subscribe our channel VV Biology, and please leave your comments about this video and explanation in the comment sections. So, please support and subscribe VV Biology, and we'll meet in the next video with another very interesting content. Thank you so much for the listening. Thank you all of you.